Well, hi, good morning. Thanks so much for joining me in the shop here. Hey, I'm pretty anxious to see if my speaker repair here has worked. Looks pretty good. A lot of the warping appears to be gone. You can still see just a wee bit in there, but not much. So, because this may be the only video in this series you happen to be watching, I'm going to show next what it is I did to that speaker 2 days ago, and to get it to this point today. So we'll take a look at what I did to it, and then we'll carry on here. Wow, you know what? I give it 90%. That's the speaker. Let's experiment here. Okay, there's no question. The speaker is in big trouble in this radio. There's no question about it. So I'm going to attempt the first type of repair on this kind of problem. I've done this once before. It worked. I was a little stunned. Sounds to me like the last thing on earth you want to do, and that's just soak the cone in water and leave it sitting. Not like that. Leave it sitting perfectly upright. Okay, so what I'm going to do here seems like a crazy idea to me, but it's worked once in the past for me. I've actually taken a speaker pretty much like this, done what I'm about to do, and it has straightened it out. So I can't leave the speaker the way it is. This radio just sounds terrible. Yes, this is what I'm doing, soaking it with water. This is kind of like, well, how do you think it got warped in the first place, Jim? Soaked somehow. Notice the position of the radio. I have it sitting so the cone will settle down. I guess maybe literally the weight of the cone, of the voice coil, which can't be very much, is what's going to pull this back into the center. Wow. Do you really believe that? I don't know. But the thing is, you know, unless I do something, this speaker shot. I'm not about to try reconing it. My next alternative, if this doesn't help out, is going to be to find another speaker, stick it in the back of the radio, hide it in the back of the radio, and disable this one. I think that's my suggestion. So warp is still sitting right there. It's very soft now. Well, it's very flexible. No doubt about it. Yeah, wow. If I push hard, I'm going to go right through this. Okay, we're going to leave it just like that. That's it for today. We'll find out what the heck I've done when we listen to this tomorrow. Okay, so it has been 2 full days since I soaked that speaker, as you saw, and I threw some coins on top here. For some reason I thought that would be a good idea. I don't know. So the question now is, has the voice coil managed to settle into a position within the magnet that as the voice coil travels up and down, it doesn't run into the sides of the permanent magnet that's in the speaker? That's really what we're hoping for. I give this repair nothing more than a 15% chance of working. This is the second time I've tried this. So we're going to find out. But I'm quite prepared to find out it didn't do any good. Quite prepared to find out, in fact, it's actually made the situation worse. That's really quite a good possibility. Okay, I think I'm just going to play the radio, the AM radio in here. Here we go. Switch it on. Okay. So the theory here is you soak the cone relaxes, and it just basically hangs down into its right position again. How it got warped in the first place, I don't really know. But you can think of the, you know, when the speaker is standing vertically in its normal position, it's a cone going back with some weight on the end. So there's a force tipping it a little bit. I don't know if that's really caused this problem. This is not a common thing to have happen to speakers. Most speakers and old radios are in pretty good shape. So something happened to this one back in its life. Okay, I think it's all warmed up. I don't know if anything's tuned in or not. Let's see what it sounds like. Pretty hard to tell with noise like that. So I think it has more volume. I got some other problems in the radio, so don't worry about those. We'll get to those, but it's cutting out because I think a short in the capacitor. But
I'm just going to make you aware of the fact that all hands on deck. The Ontario Health Services can afford government cuts to public health, and merging health services is just the beginning, and so they're sounding the alarm about 1,500 healthcare professionals, including nurses.
Okay, so I'm going to cut back the volume in my shop here, which is a little high, I just noticed. I'm going to cut it way back and turn this up quite loud.
Ford government is going to make changes to healthcare that could start, a two-tiered system. So we'll find out. We'll keep you abreast of what's going on with that as that happens. So that's going to be happening around Queen's Park. It's going to be a little bit of a nightmare scenario. Speaking of a nightmare scenario, you have to hate to be a Toronto City Councillor and find out today that the Auditor General has finds that 62% of analyzed logs didn't line up with the GPS records of the crews that were supposed to be doing tree maintenance for the city. And, that might not shock a lot of people, but what is shocking about that is that this is a private company.
Well, that's not bad. I think that's a huge improvement over the condition before. There still is some vibrations in here. I can hear them, but they could be sympathetic vibrations coming from other mechanical parts in the radio. It's really tricky to tell these things. The other day, let me turn it up. The other day, my wife and I were watching TV, and we have, of course, nice speakers on the TV. On top of the speaker was a candle, a little candle cup with a lid stuck on top of it. The lid fits kind of snug. It's not quite laying loose. It has a plastic fitting. It kind of fits a little snug because it's a aroma candle. So you want to put this on top and lock in the aroma. With the lid on top, that thing was buzzing. I don't think it was buzzing because it was rocking on top of the speaker. It was actually the air flowing in and out of that little container causing the lid to shake. And I figured this all out. I was quite surprised by it. So you can get excuse me, you can get sympathetic vibrations of loose parts, all kinds of stuff. So let's listen to it again here.
We're the client in this case when we're talking about the private services that are being outsourced. And if you're paying a private contractor to come to your house and work on your tree or your landscape or whatever's happening in your house, you don't want to find out that A, they're taking coffee breaks, or B, they're doing another job while billing you for your job.
According to the CTV News story, the city...
Okay, maybe you don't. You should negotiate a flat rate on those kinds of contracts. Don't do for time and material. Okay, fantastic. I deem that speaker fixed good enough to carry on with this radio as it is. I think that's I'm surprised. So that's the second time I've tried this, and the second time it's worked fairly well. I've taken a speaker which was really quite hopeless and making it good enough. I think good enough. Is this ever going to sound like a hi-fi speaker? No. Look at it. No, it's not. And it's an AM radio. There's no hi-fi being supplied to the speaker in the first place. And most people listening to AM radio are listening to talk shows just like the one we were hearing. So the ability for it to produce music is not terribly critical in a radio like this anymore. Okay, that's great. Now I'm going to decide if I'm... well, then let's see. Next thing to do with this. I've changed out the audio capacitors. I think it's to go ahead and change out the other capacitors that remain, all the ones that might have an impact on the radio operation. I think I'm going to leave these mica ones in here, considering the result I got from the 2 I extracted earlier. So great. So next time I play this radio, it should be in pretty much top shape. It should be ready to be tuned up. And then after that, we find out for sure how well it all works. But it's coming along really nice. Now I'm going to go back and lay on the couch some more.